I'd like to introduce the LA Dream Pop players, the Marías. Come on down.
Hi again.
All right. So how about that?
Hey.
How about those fire alarms? How about that Radiohead cover?
The moonrise.
The moonrise. There was a lunar eclipse in Pisces last night. If any of y'all felt it, I don't know, I felt it for sure. And the vibes are still very active here. I love that the moon is also tuning in to our chat. So to get us started, so before the Marías came up on stage earlier, so you guys had a huddle, and you said something I thought was really sweet to each other. You said, having fun today, having fun tomorrow. Where did that come from, and when did it start?
Every show, we have a huddle, and we end a huddle with everyone putting their hands in, and usually me, but sometimes someone else, but usually me just saying kind of something really random, or just whatever comes to mind. And today I just said, having fun today, having fun tomorrow. And then we all said, having fun today, having fun tomorrow. And then we came on stage. I wish there was something more.
What is the most random thing you've said before a huddle?
God.
Can any of y'all remember?
Just sounds. Like, he'd be like, buppity buppity, or what it was. And then we'd have to like somehow repeat, like remember what he did and then repeat it. But I'd say, just random sounds.
Yeah.
You ever just mess with them?
There
You're
was
like
sometimes
supercalifragilistic.
Yeah, basically. Sometimes we'll have like a special guest in the huddle as well. And a few weeks ago, we had someone that worked at our label that had never been in the huddle before. And just before, I just went to him. I was like, all right, what are we saying? And I put him on the spot, and he just kind of froze for a second. And we were all just like, what are you going to do, huh? What are you going to do? And
yeah, we were like, it has to be random.
Yeah, it has to be random. But then Eddie was like, not too random.
It has to rhyme.
Yeah, but don't rhyme too much.
Yeah.
I love your band's chemistry on stage. It is electric in more ways than one. Really.
That was my dad.
Bear with me, I'm a cheesy journalist. So like Maria, you said that you almost didn't think that your new album Submarine was not going to happen. And in the process of writing it started with the separation between Maria and Josh. You guys were a couple for a long time. How did you salvage your creative relationship?
Therapy.
Oh, give it up for therapy. Yeah.
No, it's funny because the last time we were supposed to play at the GRAMMY Museum, Josh and I broke up like a couple weeks before, and so we had to cancel. We canceled everything, and it just all became we had no idea what was going to happen, because I think both of us, now look back in retrospect and we're like, in that moment, we didn't think that the Marías could go on without us being romantically together, because it started with us being romantically together, and so it was.
And through the romance, we realized that we were much more than just romantic partners. We were creative partners, business partners. We share a dog. We were.
What kind of dog?
She's a mini Australian Shepherd, Lucy. Shout out, Lucy.
Beautiful.
She's wild.
So the breakup wasn't really like a normal breakup between two people that just stopped seeing each other. It was more the romantic relationship part of it was what was broken up, but we still have all of the other parts of that relationship, and including now a friendship, which you could say was there before, but when you take the romance out of it, the friendship becomes stronger, I think.
But I don't think we didn't reach like that conclusion until much later.
Therapy, of course. Yes.
Yeah, through therapy for sure. But yeah, I mean, it was it was pretty rocky, and yeah, so we didn't know if the band was gonna even continue. We didn't know that we were gonna write another album. And then, you know, when we did start writing Submarine, it was a kind of a weird and awkward and heartbreaking album to write, because, you know, we were writing it together in the same room, and sometimes I would like drive home crying and just be like, that was weird, like, you know, or sometimes like things would come out of my mouth when I'm writing lyrics, and it's just kind of stream of consciousness, and then something would come out, and then we'd like look at each other, and then we'd be like, did I just say that? Oh, I just said that, you know. And so there were a lot of awkward moments, but I think at the end of the day, like, the music is what's most important, and the honesty in the music is what's most important, and we have that in common. And we all have that in common. So yeah, I'm glad that we stayed together for the kids.
You stayed together for the music. I'm so glad, because this album it's like a treasure trove of very, you know, emotional, evocative songs. But also, you know, it translates well when I'm like going to the beach, or when I'm like, you know, when it's date night. I don't know.
When you're underwater.
Yeah, when you're underwater. I do want to talk to y'all down there.
Hey.
What do you guys think is like the glue that really holds you all together as a group?
I think it's family first, always. You want to make it... You can't really do anything cohesive in life without it feeling like a family. You can't really go anywhere without family. So it's friendship, family first, and then I think everything creative comes from the openness and the honesty that we've worked really hard to achieve together.
What do you guys do for fun, like when you're not working? Y'all go to Six Flags or something? Knott's Berry Farm?
I did go to
Disney?
Six Flags, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I did go to Six Flags a couple years ago, and I rode all the rides, and then like afterwards I took like 2 a leave and then like passed out and like on a bench. I'm like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. And last time I was at Disney, same thing happened. I like waited in line for one ride, and then I took a leave and passed out because I was like, I can't with this.
Were y'all there for this?
No.
Theme parks are not your thing.
I don't mind them. I haven't been in a long time. There's just a lot, you know. There's just a lot at a theme park.
For fun, what do we do for fun?
We dance. I dance.
Yeah.
Play soccer. Watch soccer. Walk our dog.
What do you guys do as like a crew when you're hanging out?
Well, actually, funny you should ask. About a year ago, we all went skydiving together.
Yeah.
Where?
It's like Bakersfield area?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
And we were like,
Daredevils.
we like to do like bonding trips together, especially before a tour. Like we went to Puerto Rico in November together, just straight up vacationing together, which was, for Maria's birthday, which was a lot of fun. We went skydiving in Bakersfield.
Jet skiing.
Oh yeah, the
Jet skiing.
Puerto Rico.
We try to do just fun shit.
We go out to dinner. Sorry, we go out to dinner a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We use every excuse we can to pick a nice restaurant and put it on the company card. Josh finds the most expensive restaurants in every city.
Yeah. Sort by price.
Give it up for the company card. Hey. So getting back to the album, it was fun riffing with you guys. But what was the concept behind the title Submarine? How did you come up with that?
Yeah, so I knew that I wanted an album title that represented this the new dynamic between Josh and I, and also just kind of like our own solo journeys. So I wanted something that represented being very, almost like lonely and in solitude and just being alone. And, because after Josh and I's breakup was the first time that I, had really, I don't know, experienced like the feeling of loneliness and of solitude. So, and then I knew that I wanted that. I knew that I wanted just one word title, like we've done in the past, super clean cinema. I like the one word titles. And then something that in English and Spanish is easily recognizable. Submarine, submarino, submarine. Yeah. Spelled pretty much the same. And yeah, so those were that's what I wanted. And so I just kind of put it out there in the universe, like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for. And we were in a session with our friend Kenny Beats, and he like had this screen where he was like playing a movie, and the end credits came on, and I saw Submarine, and it must have been like a production company or something. And I saw the word, and I was like, yes, like that's exactly what, I don't know, what I've been looking for. And it represents this solitude. It has everything that I wanted. And then I saw the whole visual world, and I saw the color transition from red to blue, and which is something that I also wanted, like a very drastic change, because it was so drastic, the change that we had gone through. So yeah, so it all just kind of encapsulated in Submarine.
And then you texted me in the middle of the session. It was the two of us and Kenny, and I was like recording some piano thing, and then you texted me like, what about Submarine? And then I just like looked at my phone while I was recording. I was just like, that's not bad. And I was like stopped, and I was just like, yeah. And then Kenny's just like, are you gonna keep going or just? And I was like, oh yeah, sorry, one sec. But yeah, that was just immediately. I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah.
And then I immediately texted the guys too, and I think they were both just like.
I remember you said, I don't know if it was during that, probably was, but you said super
session.
clean cinema Submarine. I was like, I like that.
When you put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all just immediately on board, which was also just a sign that, that it was going to be, that's what it was going to be.
And you did mention the visual world, which I wanted to talk about a little bit. I mean, it's a very rich visual world. What informed this blue theme, and how did you execute all of these shoots underwater?
Yes.
Holding our breath. I'm not even kidding.
Where did this happen, for your album art, which features the whole band underwater? You're all doing like funny things.
Yeah. It was in a random pool. Where was that?
Long Beach?
Long Beach.
Yeah, at a house.
Where?
Long
LBC.
Beach in the
Long Beach.
house.
Yeah, I was in Long Beach, and there was like a professional, like, I guess, diver that was like teaching us how to breathe. And I really liked it because it was like very meditative. And so I could stay under for a long time.
Some better than others, that's for sure.
Yeah. I stayed under for quite a long time.
Josh had to put weights in his pockets.
Yeah, just keep me down,
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Oh my
Eddie
God.
and I had a pretty not so great time. Jesse has asthma, and he was able to stay way longer than Eddie and I. But Eddie and I thought we were going to do a great job.
When I came out of the water, I was like gasping for air. I was like, okay, that was probably good. And then the DP swam up to me, and he was like, you did good. Gonna need you to hold your breath for more than 5 seconds, though, because we need to get a full take. And I was like, oh, okay, more than 5 seconds.
We were averaging like 5 to 7 seconds. Maria was averaging probably like 20 or 30 or 40. She was there for so long. Same with Jesse, but Eddie and I were like. It was pretty
So the trick is you want to let out all of your air before you go under. So like you think you want to go and then go under, right? Because you want to like keep up all your air, but he's like, no, you have to let it all out because you still have air in your lungs, and then if you have that extra air without letting it out, then you're just going to float to the top. So you want to let it all out, and then you sink.
Or keep the breath in and put weights in your pockets. So you go down and you're still holding your breath, you know? You got
Or
much more
that.
time.
Or that.
Do not try this at home.
But yeah, so the visual world, the color blue, yeah, like I said, I think I just wanted like a very drastic color change. I've always like seen the albums in like a color for the albums. So for Super Clean and Cinema, it was red, and so we had like a lot of, you know, in our music videos and our visuals, like just very subtle pops of red. And after Cinema, I wanted just a very drastic color change. And so when Submarine came to mind, and you know, in the color blue, I was also watching like a lot of films at the time that kind of had the theme of solitude and of loneliness. And one of the films that I watched was Three Colors Blue, and I had seen Three Colors Red, and I rewatched Three Colors Blue, and the journey that the main character had in the movie, like I very much related to. She had lost her family at the beginning of the movie and kind of found herself, you know, for the first time, like alone, and having to navigate the world and being alone, and having to get her own apartment, and having to, you know, collect all of her belongings and grieve. And I don't know, I just related to her experience so much, because in addition to, you know, the romantic loss, I'd lost a dear family member of mine right before writing the album. So, you know, the album is kind of a collection of loss in terms of romantic loss, but also just loss and grieving. And so I just related to her a lot. And the color blue at the beginning of the movie kind of represented this, like, actually feeling blue, like feeling sad and her depression. But as the movie went on, it kind of started to represent like hope for the future and aspiration and change, and, you know, and her coming into her own. So I just loved that, and I wanted to incorporate that in all of our visuals.
And the lead in that movie was played by Juliette Binoche, so you know that it was a really good movie. Shout out to the French. And so I think about, like, I want to talk about the, can you tell us about like a major turning point in the making of this album, when things started to feel like you were really moving forward and like you were progressing past the grief?
I took a little sabbatical, if you will, about halfway through. I did a little Eat, Pray, Love vibe, and I went to Europe and just kind of chilled out there for like a month and a half or so, just kind of going around different countries and experiencing life, because I was just like felt so cooped up, you know, at home for so long. And we got sirens today.
They're coming after you. They're coming after all of you.
The smoke alarm goes off now. Battle of the sirens. Yeah, so just kind of went around and experienced life in a couple different countries, and felt extremely rejuvenated when we got back. It was tough making the album up until that point, you know, because it was just reliving a lot of past experiences, and I was just like, I need to just do something completely different and uncomfortable and something I've never done before. And so, yeah, when I got back, I felt just completely rejuvenated and ready to keep working on it. And we finished the album like probably we were like halfway done. We finished the second half within like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that. It was just like bang, bang, bang. And then that was definitely a big turning point for sure.
Definitely. And I think like, yeah, I mean, in retrospect, I'm like, this album, you know, it was really, really, really difficult to get through and to write. And so it made complete sense why Josh just got up and left to another continent.
Yeah.
Left to another continent. But I admire you.
Thank you. I admire you too.
That was your reset.
Yeah, big time. It felt like a reset is a perfect word.
And what did you two do? Did you go anywhere fun?
No. We hung out with Maria a lot more.
Yeah, we did.
That was nice.
We jammed.
Yeah.
We jammed and wrote Blur. Well, wait. Yeah.
Blur was started while I was gone. and
Yeah,
then
yeah. Blur was started while Josh was gone.
Yeah, and then I came back. And I was like, "What you got?" And she's like, "Well, there's this one," and it was like the beginning of Blur, and I was like, "Oh," and then did the thing, chopped it up, chopped and screwed, slowed and reverbed it, and it was a song.
Did we write Paranoia before or after his trip?
Before.
It was before.
Yeah, before. That was on my birthday.
That's when Josh had to leave.
Yeah, Josh was like, "This is enough," but yes, and I think Josh had enough because, the album. I think there were moments in writing the album where I think the question came up like, are these songs about us or are these songs about someone else? Like, what are these songs about? And with Paranoia, it's not about Josh.
Paranoia is not about me.
He wants to make that clear.
You heard it first.
I'm not a paranoid person.
He's not. But yeah, I think that was probably one of the most difficult parts of writing this album was that.
A game of guess who, drama, intrigue.
Yes.
I love it. I do want to dial it back to like the early days of the Marías. I want to ask how you all landed at your sound. It's very lounge meets alternative. You have a lot of like cool glimmers of like 90s electronica and alt sounds that I love, but you're also clearly, I don't know, I get the sense that you all were trained as like jazz musicians first, or that you picked that up first and then started getting weird with it. Can you tell me about how you all landed at this sound?
For me, it feels like it's evolved a lot, but I think it stays consistent because it kind of comes from the same place. Like, I produce the music. We don't really have other producers, so it's always coming from one collective mindset, and it's been like that since we started. But the lounge vibe, I don't know. I just like warm sounds. We all like warm sounds. We like things that aren't too piercing. We don't like to, do this when we're listening to music. Plus, I actually thought about this the other day. We work a lot in headphones. So when you're in headphones for an extended period of time, you don't want to listen to like really high frequencies or really like piercing sounds for hours on end. So I think we just naturally start like rolling off the highs and making things warm and pleasing to listen to on headphones for a long time.
Yeah, I think a lot comes from our love of jazz chords and psychedelic music and catchy melodies.
I'm not technically trained in jazz at all, but I love a major 7.
Me too.
Is that the secret?
Yeah, although I try to use it less nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, in cinema, like, you get these crunchy 90s, like, garbage riffs. A little bit of that, like, Butch Vig production and Hush, which I love. This is where I get really nerdy with it. But then, you also have, like, this very wispy reggaeton song, Un Millón, but they don't feel that dissonant from each other. So, like, I mean, I guess you might have just explained it, but I was going to ask what your like production philosophy or like method was to be able to marry these sounds together seamlessly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just because it comes from the same place. We like what we like.
I mean, we wrote both of those songs just in our living room, and yeah, and so I think it goes back to kind of what Josh said. Like, it's just us like writing these songs and him producing. So because we don't work with any, we just do it in our.
It's all in-house.
It's all in-house,
Yeah.
and so it all just kind of comes from us. And so whether it's reggaeton or whether it's like psychedelic or whether it's like a smooth jazz, smooth jazzy kind of song or whatever it is, I think it still comes out sounding like the Marías because it's just the Marías making it.
I'm also
Right.
like not necessarily like a gearhead. Like I don't just buy a lot of gear just to have it. So all the things that I have are the things I've had for years, and I just like use it. I just know how to use it. I mean, yes, I have more gear now, but like I'm not. I know people that are just like, like they buy new things like once a week, and then they just have all these things. But I like what I like, and I just know how to work it because I've had it for so long, And so it's all the same instruments and shit.
A sustainable king.
Yes.
Yes.
I've been reading this book on Radiohead, and there was this part that was talking about Johnny playing guitar and how he like went and bought all of these crazy whatever it was. Like he bought all this crazy equipment to try to, make his sound quote unquote special, but everybody around him was like, wait, but your sound is already special. Like you don't need all this crazy equipment because it's you that's playing it. So I think the same can be said for like any of y'all sitting here and Josh when making the music is that like, a lot of our songs, we just wrote in GarageBand and recorded vocals on mic just like this. And, so I think it's kind of like what you put into the music and not so much about the equipment.
Yeah. Well, I love it. When I think I remember reading that when you wrote Un Millón, it was after seeing Don Omar in concert. Is that true?
So I saw Don Omar, and it was one of my first concerts when I was little.
Early concert. Oh
It was
my
an
god.
early concert. I like saved up all of my money to get my brother and I into VIP, and we got into VIP. I was like 15. It was like my first job, and I would save all my money to go to reggaeton concerts. And I won a dance. They were calling out people to come up on stage to do like a dance contest, and they called me up, and I went up and I did like a backflip and like a split or something, and so I won the dance competition. But so I've had a love of reggaeton music for ever since I was little, and grew up listening to all of the reggaeton greats, and so I knew that I wanted to incorporate that sound that's so instrumental from Puerto Rico into our project, and introduce Josh to reggaeton music, and he really liked it, and so we were like, how do we make a Marías reggaeton song? And that's what you hear in Un Millón. It's kind of like a reggaeton, but a little indie, I guess.
Indie reggaeton. Yeah.
Indie reggaeton.
I love it. And so, I mean, you've also incorporated your Latinidad in many of your songs ever since the super clean days. Real ones know. And you've since collaborated with Bad Bunny, Young Miko, Tiny. How has your Puerto Rican heritage like positively impacted your artistry?
It's just always been a part of making music because it's just a part of me, and I grew up just immersed in the culture, and so it's just it's just a part of me. So when I come to write music, I think it just expresses itself through the music. The first song that I ever wrote was in Spanish, and then the second song that I wrote was in English, and then the third was in Spanish, and it just kind of flip-flops depending on how I'm feeling or what the song needs at the time.
The first song we wrote together was in Spanish. Déjate llevar.
Yeah. And it was about Josh, but he had no idea because he doesn't speak Spanish. And he didn't ask. To this day, he has no idea what it's about.
Still won't ask. I may know what it's about, but I won't ask,
Okay. But yeah, all the guys like have embraced that part of who we are, even though they don't speak Spanish. Like they, every time we're with my family and yeah, they just like embrace the culture. They're not afraid to try the food. They dance. They try to dance to the music.
That's important.
They try to dance to the
They
music.
try to dance to the music. I mean, the harmonies that they sing are in Spanish, and like they don't know what they're singing, but like I appreciate them for doing it anyway, and yeah.
And what was like for all of you, like what was your first exposure to Latin music? Were you into any like Latin artists before?
Honestly, Maria got me into all the Latin artists, specifically reggaeton. Bad Bunny did it for me. Like you would play like Don Omar and like other artists, and I'd be like, yeah, this is cool. And then like when Bad Bunny really blew up, it was like the only thing in the house was Bad Bunny, and I grew to just love it. And I was like, oh, this is so good. And then it clicked for me, and I was like, oh, I understand why it's so good now.
I think we always listen to sort of Latin jazz, like Jobim or George Benjor, and
Jacques Roberto.
always like the ballads too. Los Panchos.
Recently, Josh discovered the Corazón Partido, Alejandro Sanz.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
that song
And it's
is
like
What a
his
legend.
favorite song. His favorite song of all time now.
That song is so good.
I mean, he's an icon for us, you know, a Spanish icon.
Yeah, it makes sense. He's an icon for me now too.
I do want to ask about working with Bad Bunny. You all were nominated for a Grammy along with Bad Bunny for Un Verano Sin Ti.
For a what?
Otro Atardecer was like it was the most beautiful song. I loved hearing that song. I loved hearing him on an indie song like that. How did you guys make that happen?
So he had been listening to our music during the pandemic, and I guess when he was, writing this album, I think it was like a love letter to Puerto Rico, and I think he wanted to showcase. He knows that Latin music is diverse. Like there's more to Latin music than reggaeton. There's more than salsa merengue. And now there's a Latin indie sort of alternative thing happening, and I think he understands that and wanted to showcase the diversity of the music that was coming from Puerto Rico. And yeah, so he just asked us to be a part of the song, a part of the album, and it was a no-brainer. And then I also love that he included Buscabulla, who also make music from Puerto Rico with this like indie flair. And yeah, so it was just so cool being a part of it and showcasing like our little island and the very diverse sounds that come from it.
We also didn't know if that song was going to be on the album until the day before the album came out. We had worked on it maybe like 3 months before, February, March, April, May, like 3 or 4 months before. Didn't hear a word. And then the day before the album came out, our manager was like, oh, by the way, I think it's going to be on the album. We're like, what? And then we didn't hear it until Spotify, until it came out.
We didn't hear the final master until it was out.
Not even the final like version. Like we only heard the first version we worked on, and then Spotify.
Yeah, we were like, oh, they did. Oh, that's cool. Okay, they put my. Okay, cool.
And we were pleasantly surprised, and we were very stoked about it. We were like screaming in the car. We were about to go to like someone's release party or something. We were like, oh my God, it's 9:00, and it came out.
Benito is really he's known for working on the album until literally like midnight. Like he will still be tinkering with it the night of.
Must be nice.
As you look at our bit.
Me looking at our label.
Oh yeah, there's no way they would let you get away with that. This is why he's an independent artist. He can do that.
We have an independent label, but they're pretty chill. Y'all are pretty chill. Yeah. But yeah, love that collaboration so much. And then loved the collaboration that we did with Tiny as well. I mean, Tiny's like such, a legend in the Latin music space from Puerto Rico, and had so much to do with so many of the amazing Latin songs that are out right now. And so when he reached out, like it was also a no-brainer. And Yeah, and and then Miko on the song, that was Benito's idea to have us on the song together, and yeah.
I was already such a fan of young Miko, and I had no idea she was going to be on that song. And then, kind of similar to before, I heard a new version of the song, and I was just listening to it, and then I just heard it go, yeah, yeah, and I'm like, is that young Miko? And I like look at the thing, and I didn't read, but it just says like featuring young Miko as well, and I was like, what? And I was listening to the verse, I was like,
You were
so
starstruck.
sick. Yeah, I had no idea she was going to be on it.
She's kind of like our Billie Eilish, I feel.
Yeah, she's so sick.
She's got that same vibe.
Yes, she's amazing. We love her.
I do want to, so my last question before we get to audience questions is, what are your signs? Inquiring minds want to know.
What's yours?
I'm a Virgo.
Okay. I'm a Scorpio. If you can't tell, it looks like I'm always dressed to go to a funeral.
I am an Aries.
Oh, the fire came out.
I'm a Taurus.
Yes. Earth signs.
Pisces.
Yes. Are you feeling this moon? This is a Pisces ass
dude, are
moon
you feeling this
right
moon?
now.
Of course, I'm feeling it. Yeah, of course.
Jess, you feeling this moon?
I already knew it was Pisces moon.
Okay, so water, fire, earth, water. All right.
Who's the
Wind,
first
fire.
water?
Very dynamic.
Oh, no shit. That makes no sense to me.
But Aries and Scorpio are both ruled by Mars. So I told Maria backstage, I was like, oh, y'all get shit done. But
We
y'all
do
can
get shit
finish
done.
it too. Like you
That is
can, like,
true.
whatever, y'all can fight. Yeah, they can fight. Watch out. But Taurus and Pisces, two very great, like,
Great signs.
energies.
You guys got great signs.
Y'all can work with everybody. Okay, now I have like a new insight into your chemistry as a band. Josh is
Interesting.
holding it down. You like lead from the drum kit.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I have some questions that were submitted before the show. So I'm going to ask you a few of them, but this is going to be like a lightning round.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so the first question is, who was your first concert, or what was the first concert you ever attended?
Backstreet Boys.
Which Backstreet Boy do you identify with the most?
Don't ask me that.
Okay, well,
I
I'm a
actually have no
Kevin.
idea. I don't remember their names, to be honest.
Okay, you can say brown
Oh,
hair.
Aaron Carter.
No, he wasn't in it. Wait,
His brother Nick was
Nick Carter.
Right. But I mean, yeah, Aaron was a talent.
Yes, he was.
My first official concert was also the Backstreet Boys. Yeah. But I mean, church, I guess. Like, like our church, like, had concerts.
You lived in Georgia.
Yeah.
So they rock out.
Yes,
a
it was
lot.
like a full concert every Sunday. Yeah.
Mine was NSYNC.
Classic.
Which member of NSYNC do you identify with the most?
The one that just got the DUI.
Okay, who knew?
I don't actually know, except for Justin. I don't know a single NSYNC member.
You saw NSYNC? You never told me that.
I slept the whole show.
Yeah, dude, I slept during Backstreet Boys.
20,000 screaming people, and I just slept the
The
entire
first show that I really remember, because I went to a bunch as a baby, but was Green Day,
At the Home Depot Center.
American Idiot Tour 2005.
Oh my
Josh
God.
was also there, but we didn't go together.
Yeah, that's true.
But I remember that show very vividly.
That was
Was
a
this
great
in
show.
2004, 2005?
2005, yeah.
Wow, what a time to be alive. And a teenager, specifically.
Yes. Kind of teenager.
You were like 8.
I was 10, yeah.
Yeah. Almost a teenager. Wanting to be a teenager
What
so
was
bad.
yours?
My first concert, so I grew up in Miami, and I was 5 when my dad took me to the McDonald's parking lot to see Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Oh, yeah.
It was a free show. I don't know, is anyone here from Miami? Anyone?
Going once.
It's
My
okay.
parents.
God, the Dolphins are doing terribly this season. But yes, it was in a McDonald's parking lot, and I sat on my dad's shoulders, and it was groovy. So cute. It was. Okay. So, what has been your favorite memory from the Submarine tour? By the way, love you guys. XOXO, Sophia. Where you at, girl?
Hey, Sophia. Hey.
Shout out
Favorite memory from the Submarine tour?
My favorite memory, I'd have to say during our show at Radio City, we played Radio City in New York, which was, it was so surreal and it was so beautiful. But there was like a little platform that was kind of away from the stage where I had the perfect view of the stage for like the first time ever during a show. Like I'm usually on the stage and, don't have like the view that the audience has. But at Radio City, I had the view kind of where the audience was. And I like looked over at the stage and like saw the guys playing. And I was like, you guys, like I just felt so proud of us. And I was like, you guys, like we did it. Like we're doing it. And so that was like my favorite. I don't know. It was just like heartwarming and that was my favorite moment.
My favorite moment was when we were on the bus in the middle of nowhere at like 2 a.m. We were watching some just like cable TV.
Antiques Roadshow.
Antiques Roadshow.
A classic.
And out of nowhere, my mom appears on the show, just like on TV. My mom and my grandma, and I didn't know they were on Antiques Roadshow at all. And they're just there in the middle of nowhere. It's 2 a.m. and they're
Oh my
just
God,
on
Josh,
the show.
your mom.
Like, that's your mom. Like what the fuck?
Were they selling something?
Yeah, there was. I don't even know what they were selling. I've never seen that thing in my life. But that was honestly one of the craziest moments ever.
That was mine too.
We were all screaming. I could not believe it.
Only Josh's mom could find her way onto our bus at 3 a.m. in the middle of nowhere.
That's so true.
I mean, I was gonna say the last show at the cemetery when all of our monitors cut out and there's no explanation other than that the ghosts weren't happy with us playing at a cemetery. So everything went wrong. But it was the best show, in my opinion, of the tour.
Paranormal Activity.
There was.
What kind of ghosts are they? They wouldn't like your music? It's like so ethereal.
They're all like celebrity ghosts, so they were just trying to like.
Oh, it was
fucking
at
with
Hollywood
us.
Forever.
Yeah.
They just want to rest
Okay.
in peace.
Yeah,
We were a little loud.
we were loud for them.
Okay. Let's see. How much more time do I have? Anyway, will there be a deluxe for this album or another? P.S. Hamptons saved me. Thank you.
Same.
Thank you, Axel.
Hey,
oh,
Axel.
There you are.
So deluxe.
Maybe, I don't
I'm
know.
looking at our label. Everyone loves deluxes, but I think when we wrote Submarine, we wrote it for just that album, and so attaching more songs to Submarine, it doesn't feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel right to us. So I don't know if there will be a deluxe, but
There's more music.
there is more music, and we are going to be releasing more very soon. Yes. But Submarine is just Submarine.
So the next question is, what was the inspo for the set design on this tour?
Ooh. We wanted it to feel like you were entering our submarine or like entering a different sort of dimension. And so we had like this giant circular, what looked like a portal. And yeah, where you could just kind of like feel like you were in like another another world. And then we also had a bathtub for the encore moment, and I knew that I wanted to bring in water, incorporate water, because the theme is submarine. Like something had to have water, and that was so difficult for me to get across the finish line. Everybody was like, "No, like we can't have water. Like it's a liability. Like nobody's gonna let us do it. It's not possible. You're gonna get electrocuted." I'm like, "It's okay. I just need water. I need."
Do it for the art.
Exactly. I was like, let's please, like, I can just be in the bathtub. There doesn't have to be a lot of water. Like, just please, please, please. And a week before.
Not even. It was like a couple days
before we started the tour, they were like, okay, I think we figured out how to get your bathtub on the stage without, making it, a whole thing.
There was this giant crate at the second to last day of rehearsals. It was just like so big, and this big wooden box. And like, what the fuck? And it's weighed, I don't even know how, it weighed so much. And it had to be put on a forklift. And I'm like, what is that? And they're like, oh, that's
bathtub.
The bathtub. And we're like, oh shit. How are they going to do that? Not my problem. They got this.
We had to lug that thing all across the country. But it was so worth it. It was, I loved it. The water was hot every night, and it was so nice.
You risked electrocution.
I did. I risked it. I risked it all.
That's so Scorpio of you.
I know. But so the mic that I use, there's no way of me to, I couldn't have gotten electrocuted. So if the mic got very wet, which it never did, it would just turn off because it was like battery powered. So I was totally safe to be singing in the bathtub.
And the acoustics were incredible.
Yeah.
So for the last question, what song was the most meaningful and special to perform on tour? Love y'all, Valerie.
Hey, Valerie. Start with Jesse.
Meaningful and special?
Yeah.
What's your favorite song?
I love playing Love You Anyway every night, just because it gets really loud and I can do my thing.
You can bust that lead out.
I think Paranoia for me, just such a dynamic song and so fun, and I love the whole outro section that we added.
I'm going to go with Vicious for me.
Aries.
Yeah, that shit goes hard.
I also love Vicious live. I think my favorite is No One Noticed to play live, because I love like when the audience like sings the song, and it just feels like very, I don't know, very collective, and like we're all like in this together, and it's also just like crazy that like a song that can be written just like one morning on guitar, then ends up like we're playing it at all of these big venues and everybody knows the words, and it's just so cool. So cool.
I want to thank you all for making the time,
Thank
sharing
you.
it with us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for supporting musicians, for coming to the Grammy Museum. Thank you to the Grammy Museum for showing the Marías love, because y'all deserve it.
And also, let's give it up for Susie. I've been a fan of Susie's work for a long time.
We're internet pals.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of your work. I'm a fan of her work. So please go read it. She's amazing. You're amazing. Like,
Thank you.
yeah.
Y'all
yeah,
have
so
carried me
amazing.
through some tough times, let me tell you. But it's a beautiful full circle moment to be here now with you.
Yeah, being paired with you tonight, I was like, yes, like we get Susie. I was so excited. So thanks.
And
for
shout out
being
to the
here.
Grammys. Huh?
Yes.
We'll see you at the Grammys. Stream Submarine.
Are there any Grammy voters here?
Yeah, our
That's why
label
we
in the
do
back.
this.
Okay, our label. Vote for us.
Vote for the Marías.
Or don't.
Have a good night, y'all.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.